Welcome to the WIDR programming clock tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll go through programming clock A, programming clock B, and the programming guides relevant to each. What is a programming clock? A programming clock is a collection of colors and designs and words that tell you when you should be doing your readbacks and playing imaging throughout the hour. Imaging are all the pre-produced spots made by our lovely production director that you can find in iTunes. The spots, not the director. They include pre-recorded legal IDs, underwriting spots, event promos, or current events, they're current events now, PSAs, and show promos, as well as simple liners, which we can find on Clock B. Alright, so I think the easiest way to do this is to, real quick, first I'll tell you where you can find these. You can find the programming clocks both on the window above the board. They're pretty hard to miss. And the programming guide can be found in a blue binder somewhere near the transmitter log. That's the best place to keep it. Alright, so programming clock A. Let's say I'm a DJ and I'm coming into my show. And the old DJ, it's probably about 9, my show starts at 10, so it's about 9:55. The old DJ is going into their readback. I'm getting my stuff ready. The old DJ finishes their readback, and it's about 9:57, and I just sat down at the chair. I got all my stuff ready, and the clock hits 10 o'clock, and I will do a legal ID, which can be a pre-produced legal ID, or it can be a verbal legal ID. I can just say it. Now, for those of you who need a refresher, a legal ID is our call letters followed by our city. It followed immediately by the city. So that sounds like WIDR Kalamazoo. You don't say WIDR FM or 89.1, it's just WIDR Kalamazoo. You can say 89.1 before, you can say student radio before or student radio after, but you can't say anything in between. It's got to be WIDR Kalamazoo, or else it's not a legal ID. So you can either play one of those or you can say it, and you got to do that right at the top of the hour. It's an absolute must. Right after you do that, play an underwriting spot. So as the DJ sitting in the chair, hopefully I'd have checked this somewhere back a minute ago. I go to the programming guide. I check what time. Check the time. It says 10 o'clock a.m. I'm going to play the station 702 underwriting. So right after I do that legal ID, I will play the station 702 underwriting, and then as that stops, I'll throw on the music I want to play. And while that's playing, I'll go in here and I'll write 10:01 in the time played box. Alright. Because I played it, let's say just a little bit after the hour. You really want to get it right on the dot here, but in case you go over with the legal ID just a couple seconds, you want to make sure you mark it correctly. But absolutely important that you get this legal ID and underwriting right at the top of the hour. Alright, so I do my music, and probably about 10 minutes in, I'll check this and see that, 10:15, I've got to play the Bronco Bash current event. So I'll do my readback, start at about 10:14. And a readback consists of what I played, the songs and the artists that our listeners have heard, my DJ ID, who I am, I'll say I'm DJ Chenga, our station ID, which is not a legal ID, you can just say WIDR, our website, and our phone number. We're always taking requests, unless it's the gambler. If it's the gambler, you know what to do. So after I've done my readback, I'll go in and play the current event, the Bronco Bash spot. Now let's say my readback, even though I started at 10:14, I didn't get to start the current event until 10:17. That's alright, we don't expect you to get this top one we do, but The other spots, we don't expect you to get right on the dot. If you're off by a couple of minutes with your imaging, that's all right. Just make sure you record it the way it was played. It's very important that these records match our records, so that we know that as a DJ you're reliable. All right, so then I'll go through, play some more music, do my readback. At the bottom of the hour, I'll play a PSA, and as I was playing my music, I checked that at 10:30 I had to play the distracted driving PSA. So I'll go into iTunes, and under PSAs, the PSA playlist, I'll find distracted driving, and I'll play that. And after that, let's see, I should have checked this already, the campus beat underwriting. So immediately after that PSA, I play the campus beat underwriting. And then I go and I play some more music, and I will record, and I got those, right on the dot, so I will record that at 10:30. I play the distracted driving spot, and at 10:31 I play the campus beat spot. Alright, and up here I get to closing in on the end of the hour, do a readback. I'll play a show promo, which can be found in the show promos playlist in iTunes. And the show promo I was to play was Swag, and so I play that, and then I come in here and I will record that I played the Swag promo at 10, let's say I got it at 10:46. Alright, it's the end of the hour, and so I am going to initial this line. You don't have to do an initial for every single time you write down. Just do it once at the end of the hour. Alright. What else is there? Alright, so this readback is off kilter a little bit, and we'll talk about that for a second. You see, let's say I've got a 3-hour show. I go from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock. At 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock, or coming on the 11 o'clock hour and 12 o'clock hour, I can just do this readback up here because I'm still going to be sitting in the chair, and I can just do the readback, at 58 or 59, and as soon as I'm done with it, the clock will be turning over, and I can jump right into that legal ID because I'm already sitting there, I'm set up, and I'm ready for it. It's the middle of my show. However, we put on the clock over here because at the end of your show, you want to leave some time for the next DJ to get in and get set up. So you don't want to be doing a readback in that last minute or two, because at that time you should be out of the chair and letting the next DJ get ready for their show and get prepared to do a legal ID and whatever underwriting is on the log for them. So that is why this readback is off kilter a little bit here. Alright, also I never mentioned, but current events can be found in the current event folder or playlist in iTunes. Playlist, not folder, as well as underwritings can be found in the underwriting playlist in iTunes. So let's say it's 11 o'clock and I go to play an underwriting, and it's pedal bicycles underwriting, and let's say on that day, for whatever reason, the pedal bicycles underwriting isn't available. That's our fault, the director's fault, not the DJ's fault. And so as a DJ, I will draw a line and write in discrepancy unavailable. If there's something else, like it's a current event and it's out of date, I would just draw a line and write out of date or something like that. Now at 11:15, I'm going to play a current event, and it says your choice, which means as a DJ, I can just go into the folder and choose a current event to play. Maybe I'll just play I'll sort them by date played and play the one that hasn't been played recently. Alright, I think that covers clock A pretty well. So clock B is for 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Now clock A is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's sort of the business hours That's drive time. Most people are still in their cars from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But after that, our listeners are probably not looking for as much imaging, and they want to hear more music, uninterrupted, and nice long sections of music, which is what we do. We do long sections of music really well. So with clock B, I have to do a lot less imaging. At the top of the hour, I still have to do a legal ID and an underwriting, and then all of this is just music. This is a liner. I've got to play the liner, but the liner is just the station ID, not even a legal ID. It's just a station ID, and you can find real short liners on iTunes, or you can just pop in and say, you're listening to WIDR FM, really quickly. If you got a really long set, maybe find a place to just fade down for, not even completely down, but where the song's getting kind of jammy and there aren't any lyrics. Fade down, say you're listening to WIDR FM, and then fade back in real quick. This doesn't have to be right at the 15 mark. You can get it just, if you get anywhere on this side, it'd be great. As long as it's not, right next to the top or bottom. Closer to the middle is better, but that's not going to be a huge deal as long as you throw a liner in there somewhere and remind people they are listening to us. Then I come in, I'll do my readback. Now this is red because it doesn't correlate with a specific piece of imaging. It says see programming guide. So what I'll do is I'll go to the programming guide down here and see that at 7:30 I've got to play the Go Vote. If it were the 8 o'clock hour though, I wouldn't be playing a PSA, I'd be playing a current event of my choice. And so I would go in and record that after I had played it. Oh, not and 30. 7:30. Alright, now the lines aren't in here, but in the actual programming guide there's only one line an hour. And so instead of every 4 entries, it'll be every 2 for clock B. Because you gotta just sign once an hour. And let's see, what else on clock B? I think that's pretty much it. Alright, if you have any questions, please direct them to the directors, and maybe I'll make another video with more of your questions addressed. Hopefully this will get you started though. Have fun in the studio.